Okay. Now, getting off the subject a little bit, on your website you sell to cleanse the lungs a castor oil pack, and that's for people that have COPD or have emphysema. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Well, what happened, the reason I was asked to put together, we specialize in cleansing, obviously, and we did not have any type of a lung cleanse. Well, as you know, about 10 years ago, the spraying of chemtrails became increasingly damaging to the soil and to the people all over the world. Now, that has increased every single year to the point where 800 million tons of aluminum nanoparticles, strontium, barium, harmful chemicals, we don't even know what they're spraying in the air these days, is causing the spike in respiratory issues over the last 10 years has gone through the roof. Practically 8 out of 10 children right now in the last 10 years have allergies, they have asthma, they have respiratory issues. You have, it doesn't matter how healthy you are. I mean, we talk to people that are raw vegans and juice all the time, and there's no way to avoid the toxic air that we live in. And the indoor air is just as toxic as outdoor air. So what's happened is breathing in all these chemicals and these toxins are really taking a toll on the lungs and the respiratory system, even up through the sinuses, all the way down through the trachea, all the way into the bronchial areas. That's why you walk around all the time and you just see people coughing and hacking and having nasal problems and nasal congestion and sinus problems. So I was asked about 4 or 5 years ago to develop a cleanse that people can use to cleanse out their lungs and support their respiratory system. So it took a while, but what I ended up doing was developing a product called Allertrex. And Allertrex is a spray that you spray into your mouth, and as you're spraying it into your mouth, there's tiny mists of particles, which are herbs that are designed to work in the lungs as expectorants and support herbs for the lungs that will help stimulate the healing process of the lungs and also help you as an expectorant cough up and any type of toxic buildup that are in the lungs. In other words, cleanse it out. So one of the other things that we did for the lung cleansing program is add castor oil packs to the lungs. Castor oil has been used for hundreds of years as well because it's known to draw toxins and chemicals out. And I talked to a doctor probably 20 years ago that was working with patients, long-term smokers that had smoked 2 packs a day or more, who was doing studies on castor oil packs. And he would put castor oil packs over the sides of their lungs, right under their arms, along their rib cages. He would do one side, and then they would turn over and they would do the other side. And after about 30 minutes to an hour, he would take the castor oil packs off and they would be black. So he would start off with a cheesecloth, wrapped around, soaked in, or flannel, really, a lot of flannel soaked in castor oil, and then with a heating bottle put over it for about 30 to 45 minutes, and it would draw everything out. And he had really good success, and he would continue to do that. He would do that every single day, maybe a couple times a day, until the flannel or the cheesecloth or the white cotton, you can use white cotton as well, until they came up clear. And all of that tar and all of those chemicals and everything that was in the lungs would be sucked out. So that's why I think it's a real important that everybody pay attention to the air quality inside their home, and also pay attention to their respiratory systems and make sure they're cleansing their lungs. also, because you do actually absorb chemicals and toxins directly into the bloodstream from your lungs, and you take 30,000 breaths every single day.
Now, the black stuff that comes out that you mentioned for an emphysema patient, what exactly is that? Is that the crust that's over the lung?
I don't know. I never saw it myself. I've had that up there, but I've never actually done that specifically on a patient that had been smoking for over 20 years. I think, it goes back to the old adage of, is tobacco really bad for you, or did it become bad after they sprayed 676 chemicals on the tobacco? I mean, there is no history ever of tobacco, which is a natural plant, ever causing cancer or ever causing any type of disease up until the use of chemical fertilizers and insecticides and pesticides. I mean, I think that's pretty well known in our industry that it wasn't the tobacco plant that ended up causing people cancer. It was the chemicals and preservatives and all the carcinogens that were sprayed on it that causes the lung cancer. But besides that point, I think that most of the stuff that was coming out, depending on if the emphysema was caused by someone smoking or if the emphysema was caused by something else. Was it caused by inhaling asbestos for years? Was it caused from working in a welding plant? Was it caused from working in a chemical plant? There's a lot of different causes that could contribute to that. So all I know is, a lot of these natural things are hocus pocus or quackery to the medical field. We can't really explain a lot of times how they work, but we know that the results are positive and we know that they do work. And a lot of times with natural practitioners, we use a multitude of methods at once. We're going to be using the Allertrex for them to breathe in. We're going to be using the castor oil packs. We're going to be detoxifying their intestines. We're going to be activating their self-healing mechanism. What part of that is what really works? Mm-hmm. It's not just one thing. It's a combination of everything together that you're cleansing the body. The body senses the fact that you're making a conscious effort. And as you know, the mind is the most powerful in that. When you start to feel a little bit better, the mind starts to feel a little bit better. The mind starts to believe. The mind starts to have hope. And the fear starts to go away a little bit. And as the fear starts to go away, the body self-healing mechanism starts to reactivate. And at that point in time, you're going up one stair of the stairs of health every single day instead of standing still or going down one stair every single day.